I get asked the question a lot. Am I just not built to be a baseball player? Am I just not made to be a pitcher? Should I hang it up or should I just play a position? This is a tough question. It's hard to answer. And a lot of the time, I don't think that the athletes have actually maximized their rehabilitation or their training to get to that point and say, you know what, I really have done everything I can, I've exhausted all my options, and I just don't think this is the right avenue for me. A lot of times, guys are coming off an injury, they're thinking this is so hard to get back, they're having pain, maybe they've had multiple injuries or multiple surgeries, and they're just like, my body's just not built for this. And there are times that is true. There are times when guys are like, hey, you know what, you'd probably be better in the outfield, behind the dish, at a position. There are times when that's true. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the time guys get in the position where they think, I just have to hang it up, or I just can't throw the baseball anymore. I can't pitch at a high rate of speed. And a lot of the time, I don't think the guys have maximized what's being done in terms of formal physical therapy. I don't think a lot of the guys have access or have accessed the best care in terms of the most cutting edge or the most scientifically justified physical therapy. I don't think a lot of these guys have dedicated themselves to the right things. A lot of times guys have been doing a lot of things. Maybe it's not the right thing. I saw an athlete recently said, you know what, I just can't load into my hip. I can't load into my hip. And he said, I've been doing this stretch. I've been stretching my internal rotation of my hips for however long, and I take him through some different range of motion testing, and I think he's just at his arthrological limit. Like, he's hitting a hard end field, meaning like there's just bone blocking any more rotation. So he spent 6 months at it. He says, I'm just not getting any better. I'm just not getting any better. It's like, well, we need to find a different strategy for you in order to get you to load a little bit and stay closed away from the target, because you're just not going to get more rotation through your hip. So it's not just always that it's something that you can't do or you're not built for. It's like you got to find another avenue. And a lot of times I think guys haven't found that other avenue. A lot of the guys that we see in this position and say, I have to hang it up. I've had 2 Tommy Johns, or once in a while even 3 Tommy Johns, and then they come in like, I'm just not built to do this. It's like, well, hold on a second. Let's look at the way that you throw. And what's interesting is a lot of the times these guys have gone through multiple surgeries and nobody has actually looked at their throwing mechanics the way they need to be looked at. And that includes guys going to some of the most renowned biomechanics institutes in the country. They put them on 3D motion analysis and they say, you don't do this well, you don't do this well, and you don't do this well, and no one ever gave them the reason why. So when we're thinking about, hey, should we hang it up? Are we just not built for this? Do I need to just play a position? I would answer it in this way. Do you feel like you've done everything you can? Okay, I feel like I've worked really hard. Okay, then secondarily, who have I accessed that's given me tutelage or directed my plan of care? Is it just that I saw a physical therapist at one point, I just saw a physician at one point and they said this? Or have I actually had somebody take a strategic look at the exercises that I'm doing, applied them in a specific manner? Have I had somebody go through the biomechanics of my throw and look at how I'm actually moving through different parts of the throw and been able to say, that's where the injury occurred and that's why? If you can't look at the throw and say, you know what, the injury occurred because of this, this, and this, I don't think you've taken a in-depth analysis of what's going on. So my perspective on this is, and I've told guys, hey, you know what? I think you're going to be better off playing a position because, number one, you're a good hitter. Number two, you're quick in the field. You got good depth perception, fielding, fly balls or whatever it is. And then number three is like, do you really want to pitch? Is pitching what you want to do? And I think that's the most important question. If pitching is what you really want to do, I think you need to put everything you can into it. Everybody gets to a point in their career where they say, you know what, I'm done. I've exhausted what I can do. And everybody gets there. Everybody gets there at some point. Nolan Ryan got there, the 13-year-old who said, you know what, I don't want to play anymore. They've gotten there. The question is, really, how bad do you want to get to that next level? And then what have you actually done to get yourself there and get yourself back on the field? And in my experience, The overwhelming majority of guys have not done everything that they possibly can. And it's not always their fault. A lot of times they just haven't been exposed to the right things. And if you're watching this video and you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because we're always posting videos and coming out with different stuff. It may give you an idea, or may give you something that assists you in getting back to that. But what I would say is, how bad do you want it? Because it's not going to be easy. And then number two is, have I done everything within my control?